Yo, what it do, what it do? It's your boy Big J, host of the Baltimore Beatdown with Big J. I got my co-host Sean. Man, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing well. How you doing tonight, man?
Good, man. Just chilling on the Sunday with no football, sadly. Wonk,
Oh,
wonk, wonk. But it's all right. It's all right. It's all right, man. How you doing? How you been, man? How you been?
I've been good. Just living life like you said. No football, no college football. Just trying to watch college basketball, NBA, getting ready for baseball season. Taking care of the family.
Right. Yeah, so just tell since this is the first episode of the new show, tell the fans about you, a little bit about yourself, get a little background so they can get familiar with you.
All right, my name's Sean. Born and raised in Baltimore. All Maryland sports is who I follow and who I wrote for. Gigantic Ravens fans. I've had season tickets since 2010. So I'm excited to get here and I'm excited for a fresh start and talk about the Ravens.
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, as well, I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan. Do you have any podcast shows that you do that the fans can like look at? You got any like podcast shows or episodes?
So I currently run a Facebook page called the Sports Idiots. You'll know it's Lamar Jackson as the header. I used to do a live show every week. I'm going to be starting that back this season. So as of right now, I'm just here. Focus is here. But in the future, yes, I will be on the Sports Idiots on Facebook weekly.
Okay. Yeah, so let's I mean, maybe y'all have seen me on my other show, the JoJo Sports Talk. That's really more NBA, all the sports combined. But it's like I just thought about branching out, kind of gaining a Ravens fan base. Because everyone I met, I met Pacers fans, Titans fans, and they all be talking crap on me, man. Because like they think Lamar is not the guy. He can't throw. He can't do this. So it's good to have. Yeah, actually, Mac Jones got traded to the Jaguars to be a backup. Like, oh, but I mean, shoot. I mean, if he wants to ride the bench, because I mean, Lawrence gonna be the starter day one. So, but yeah, I've met Titans fans, Pacers fans, Steelers fans. So it's good to meet some Ravens fans, like
Yep.
kind of like people to back me up if I get in an argument.
We got to stick together. People
of course.
tend to want to hate us a lot.
Yeah, I mean, for like I'm in Jersey, so like I mean, I went to the game last year or 2 years ago. It was a game against the Jets, the game before we got our asses whooped or by the Dolphins.
Was that the season opener last year? I believe it was.
Yeah, I think we lost. Kyle Fuller, yep, I was there. Yep, and then Juwan James.
Yep.
So I've heard it all. I've heard it all. We can't finish games. We can't do this and that. So yeah, let's dive into it, man. So the 2023 recap. Just like tell me your thoughts about like how the season went. I think we were like 13-4, I believe, on the season. I think, or 13-3. I think we lost 3 games, right?
We were 14-3, right?
So, and then we lost to the Colts, Steelers, and Browns, right? That's all we lost to.
We were 14-3.
14-3. Yeah, just want to give me a quick little summary of like your thoughts on the season, and then we can just like discuss and.
So I'm going to start with saying this. I'm never a type of the sky is falling type of Ravens fans. I know you know who I'm talking about. Like anytime we lose, they want Harbaugh fired and they want the offensive coordinators fired and they want everybody fired. I'm not that type of fan, so I'll lead with that. I thought the season was great, especially the regular season. It started off a little rough on offense. I mean, it makes sense. You're bringing a college coordinator and Todd Monken to the NFL. It takes a couple games to get used to that. I mean, it was completely different than Greg Roman's scheme. It's more of a passing scheme, getting down the field. A bunch of new additions on offense, Zay Flowers, Odell. It takes a little bit to get everything connecting. So, yeah, we lost. If you really look at it, the games we lost, we had no business losing to them teams, but all of the great teams we played, we won by double digits. I want to say we broke the record for most games winning by 14 or more against teams with winning records in a season.
Yeah, Lions was like 30-6. I think Seattle was like 30-3.
Seattle, Lions, 49ers. I mean, the list goes on. So, I mean, obviously the way the season ended, coming up short again, this narrative that Lamar can't get it done and the offense can't get it done and Harbaugh can't get it done. I mean, People can say it. I mean, he hasn't got it done yet. We did win a playoff game against the Texans, who was a nice surging team with C.J. Stroud.
Mm-hmm.
We earned the bye. It just we ran into the Chiefs, who, they have the best coach in the NFL. And I firmly believe if we beat the Chiefs, we're beating the 49ers. We had already beaten the 49ers. And Chris Jones, after the Super Bowl, had already said, we beat the best team in the NFL last week, talking about the Ravens. He was like, so this game was really, we knew we were going to win. But all in all, the season was good. It was 14-3, losing in the AFC championship, one game away from the Super Bowl. I mean, it's not how you want to lose. You can say about not running the ball, which I agree with, but I wouldn't say the season was a disappointment. I think the season was a success. I'd give it like a 8 out of 10 season.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would agree with you. But I feel like most Ravens fans are like the Ravens fan base. I mean, it's probably the most loyalist out of the NFL. Like, you got the Eagles, they're kind of disrespectful, but I feel like the Ravens fans are kind of split between like, oh, like, are we good or not? Because like every fan that I've talked to or like seen a comment on like social media, they're saying, oh, like we're a great regular season team, but when the playoffs come, I mean, I know last year like Lamar was hurt. People said he could have played. I don't think he should have, because he could have tore ACL, God forbid. But how do you feel about the whole like, not stereotype, the whole like, I guess that whole aura around like, oh, we're just a regular season team, we can't get it done in the playoffs, because like I mean, sometimes I think Ravens are tired of going 14-3 and then crapping the bed in the AFC Championship. And don't get me wrong, like the Chiefs didn't beat us bad. They just outcoached us. It started off with the whole mind game with the whole Travis Kelce and first of all, I don't know if you're heated at that time, like when you saw like the Chiefs. It was I feel like it was very disrespectful. Because like one of the GOATs in the league, Justin Tucker, obviously, first of all, don't get me wrong, like, or correct me if I'm wrong, like, isn't the opposite kicker supposed to kick at the opposite ends of the field?
Both kickers kick on both ends of the field, right, because you're going to be kicking into both. They even said Harrison Buckner, who was the Chiefs kicker, was kicking on our side of the field. It's been, and Justin Tucker even said he's been doing the same thing
routine,
for,
like,
what is it, 12 years now?
Yeah.
It just sucks because I honestly, before this season, I liked Travis Kelce, and this really made me not like Travis Kelce. And the fact that he came in here, punked us, started that, was talking trash every time he got a first down, and he broke a playoff record and beat us all in our home. That was terrible. I hate it, and it made me just honestly, I don't like him anymore.
It's really, really, the whole game was just, a lot of trash talking with Kelce after every play. Don't get me wrong, like he's probably one of the best tight ends, in the league. It's you can flip flop. You can either play Mark Andrews number 1, Kittle number 2, or you can go Kelce number 1, Andrews 2, 3, and whatever.
He's probably a top 3 tight end all the time. However you want to spin it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. And then you have Gronk. Obviously, you can't forget about him back in the day. But yeah, I just don't. I guess as a diehard fan, I am kind of tired of that whole thing where it's like, okay, we did have a good season, 14-3. We beat some of the best teams, like you just said. But it's like, like I want to get that. Like, what does it take for the Ravens haters or like Lamar here to get off Lamar's back? Like, it has to be Super Bowl.
Win. Honestly, no. I mean, the narrative that we can't win in the playoffs, we just have to eat it because at this point it's true.
Yeah, it's true.
We made it to the AFC Championship. We had a bye, so in my eyes, that's a win because we earned a bye, even though it's not on the record, but it's a win. And then we beat the Texans. That's a win. It's not like he's not getting playoff wins, but he's not getting it. He's just we just run into this hump, and every year it's like, this should have been it. It just leaves more to be desired. So all the people, all the critics that are saying Lamar doesn't win in the playoffs, or no matter whose fault it is, at this point, it seems like at this point it's true.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And like, what was the final score of the Chiefs game? It was like 14-7 or something like that. It was like a low scoring game. It was like 14-20 or like it was like 7. I think it was like 7.
Honestly, I tried to wipe that game from my memory. I ain't gonna lie.
No, but I definitely agree. If we would have like advanced, we would have probably we would have beat the 49ers,
Yeah,
or
I
it would have
agree.
been probably a back and forth game in the beginning, and we would have won. But I mean, I think overall this season, I mean, it's nothing to hang the head on, like hang your head on. But I feel like we just got to get that chip off our shoulder as Ravens fans and just and just win playoff games because I've always had arguments with my friends like we on paper and on the field we are the most complete team, special
Mhm.
teams, defense, and offense. Like
Yeah, we're
and I
definitely up.
and no, I definitely agree. And like I think that from Saint Lamar, obviously he put on a couple pounds. Like he's more stronger, which he
Mhm.
should because he's. But I feel like Lamar in the Chiefs game, I'm not gonna place the blame all on him for losing that game. But there was a lot of times where like there were a lot of holes like in that line where he could have ran. Like he wanted. I'm pretty sure he's heard the critics. He can't throw. He's wanted to probably show off to the critics that he can throw.
I'm glad you
And
got to that because I feel like that is not the first time that that's happened. I
yeah,
I I say this to my boys all the time. I mean, every game we're talking throughout the whole game. I've said multiple times when we stop running the ball like that, I feel like we're trying to get rid of that narrative. Whether it's the coaches, it's Lamar, and I blame them, but like they want to prove that he can win games, big games, throwing the ball. That he's not just a runner because that has always eluded him his entire career. Now it's went away a little bit, but people still make the jokes that he's a running back. So I agree. I think that we at sometimes we really tried to get rid of this narrative that Lamar can't throw and win big games, and I think that's what happened.
yeah. I mean, like, what? I'd never. Well, I saw like Odell Beckham like one time, like maybe like two
Yeah.
times on the field. I know Mark Andrews. It was his first game back from injury. I think. I only saw him. He had like one catch. Gus Edwards. He had like a monster like 50-yard gain for one play. Didn't see him all. We signed Dalvin Cook for what? To be like a bench warmer? A bench?
Yep.
I don't know. Like it's like we I feel like in the playoffs, like we don't do this stuff in the season. Like I've seen, I mean, I'm pretty sure you've seen them live at games. Like the game that I went to against Miami when we being like 56-19, that was not the same team against the Chiefs. Like, and it's
Right.
not like they blew us up like 20 points or 30 points. It was like they just outcoached, and like you said, like in the pre-show we were just like talking, like John Harbaugh has come from that coaching tree of Andy Reid. Like the son can't beat the dad. Like
Yeah.
like
It's 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 tough.
but I'm not, yes, I'm mad we lost to the Chiefs, but I'm not mad about the season. And like I think we're like Frankie starts like next week. And I know some teams can discuss, contracts of like I think Monday, tomorrow. And I
Yep.
think the window opens like Wednesday for like the team for the new year. So I'm excited to, for what pieces we're gonna get. I'm out. Derrick Henry is a hot commodity.
Mhm.
Saquon Barkley, Michael Thomas, or I mean, sorry, yeah, Michael Thomas, the receiver. So like, what? I mean, I know we signed we got the big dog Metabuke. We signed to a 4-year deal after slapping the tag on him. Um, and then and I know we talked about earlier about like the PQ situation because it was either slap the PQ or slap the tag on him or Metabuke or like either one would have to walk because like the
Mhm.
price was be too much for both of them. Um, so yeah, what do you think signing Metabuke does for like the future? You think that we get some pieces to help him out on that line? And I know we got Michael Pierce. We signed him could like a 2-year deal.
Yep.
So I mean, so like, what do you think about that? Like, what do you think about Matabuke signing and like, how do you feel about that for the future? Like, for,
Uh,
for that D
I have
line.
I have nothing bad to say about the signing of Matabuke. I think it had to get done. I think the obviously Mike McDonald really helped the defense, but I think a lot of the reason why our pass rush was so good, and no offense to Clowney and Van Noy and all those guys, we didn't have a dominant pass rusher. Like, we didn't have a TJ Watt or a Khalil Mack or a Nick Bosa or any of that. I think that they benefit from Justin Matabuke and the big guys that we always seem to have up the middle on the defense. So I'm glad we got it done, so we don't have to pay 22 million directly on the cap this year. I don't know if we pay. I've heard 6 million. I've heard 11 million, honestly. But either
Mhm.
way, we save money this year. I think, like I was telling you, I don't think
Mhm.
Saquon and Josh Jacobs are within our realm of salary that we're gonna spend unless they come down in price. I think
Mhm.
Derrick Henry's going to be a bargain for much cheaper. Um, it's on record that we tried to trade for him at the deadline. We tried hard to trade for him at the deadline,
Mhm.
and I would at this point I would be shocked if Derrick Henry's not at least visiting the Ravens, and I think he is going to be a Raven. I'm not going to say like we're going to bring in like I told you. I don't think we're going to bring in like Cortland Sutton and Justin Simmons and all these other guys that got cut. But I do
Yeah.
think that Derrick Henry. I think there's a good chance that Derrick Henry will be a Raven.
I mean, it's gonna be interesting. Like that's what I like. I like podcasts. I like talking about sports, man. Because I like the off season because it's so interesting, man. Because
Yeah,
like like especially after the draft, like they're it's kind of like the NBA, like the whole buyout market. Like you have the people like Jordan Poyer. Oh my gosh, imagine him. Uh,
yeah,
like was it Micah Hyde released too? Um,
yeah. They cleaned house.
so so imagine
The
like
biggest
I mean I
right.
don't know what their asking price is, but like imagine we get uh like Jordan Poyer with compared with Kyle Hamilton or like Micah
Yeah,
Hyde. Like there's so many like unknowns in the offseason because like there's so many teams still making cuts and doing cuts like in like releasing players. So it's very interesting and like I don't know like I don't know if Saquon. I mean I don't know what he's asking for as far as a contract, but I know he knows his own body and I know he's known he's been injury prone.
hmm
Um, I mean, but I wouldn't be mad at both signings. Like, and
no,
Saquon is,
not at
I
all.
think he's a little younger than Derrick Henry.
He's much younger.
They're both big. Like as far as
Yeah,
like a human beings, like, they're both monsters. Um, I mean they're both. I mean they're like they're similar. They're both catching bats and catching the backfield. And plus like. Who knows what we're gonna do with Dobbins? I'm kind of sick and tired of Dobbins. Like seeing the Instagram posts of him
I
working
think
out, and
Dobbins is
then
gone.
yeah, I think unfortunately, I mean, I think he is too. I mean, I was looking forward. I thought we were going to see the guy from Ohio State,
Yeah,
but
I mean,
he
injuries
was
kind of just
hurt,
plagued his career.
and
He
like
had a
he had a good
promising career, but I think injuries really plagued his career so far. Not that he's doesn't have time to be
yeah.
good. I think he can
No,
be
no,
good
he's still
somewhere else,
young.
and I'll root for him to be good somewhere else. I think his time here is done, and I know this isn't going to be popular. I would be okay with bringing Gus back, but he just doesn't look the same to me, and he's getting a little bit older too. And he was
I think
never a
I'll be.
super explosive running back. He's a bigger running back.
He's more like a third down back. If we need like or like
Yeah, he's like a third and
he's
one
more
type
like a
of guy.
third, yeah, third one, third and two, maybe fourth and one. If you want to go for it, push it down
So
the middle,
obviously, we saw Keaton Mitchell burst onto the scene.
and then he got hurt.
He looked
Dang.
amazing. He
Yeah,
looked like
yeah,
the future. The thing is, pass protection. He had to work on that, and he's a smaller back, so he's probably not going to be a 3 down back.
right.
But Justice Hill really stepped up because he is great at pass protection. So I think we have Justice Hill for next year. I'm thinking we
Mhm.
bring in Derrick Henry and then we draft one because there is a bunch of good running backs in this draft. And running backs are a dime a dozen unless you're talking about a Saquon or a Josh Jacobs or a Christian McCaffrey or
Oh yeah, we got a lot.
Ozzie here.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of. I mean, I gotta look back at history, like of like running backs we got in the draft or like late rounds. I mean, we had some good ones in the past.
Yeah.
Like
So
like I don't know if we drafted Forsett or did we pick him up like in late rounds. I know
no,
Forsett.
he was a free agent.
Oh, free agent. Okay, okay. Yeah, I mean, like I'm not like even Josh Jacobs. He's been reliable as injury.
Yeah.
Like I think his only year where he was hurt. Um, but yeah, I mean, I forgot about Jacobs. Like he's definitely one of those like power backs too.
I
So
think he's
like
going
you
to be a
think
little more money because I believe he's a couple years younger than Saquon. He's definitely younger than Derrick Henry.
yeah, wait, let me see how old these guys are. Let me see.
I want to say
I know
Saquon's like 27 or 28.
I know Derek is like up there. I think maybe 29,
Eric's
30 at
30,
least.
maybe 29.
Let's see.
I
Derek
want to say Josh Jacobs is like 25 or 26.
He's been in the league for a couple years. Let me see, Derek Henry. Um, he is 30. He's 30. So
Mm-hmm.
Saquon, so Derrick Henry was 30. Saquon, I think he's like at least like 28, 27, I think maybe. Let me see.
I think that sounds right. I
Yeah, he's
think
27. He's
Yeah, that's
27.
right. I think Josh
Um,
Jacobs is like 26 or so.
so like long. So I guess the next question is, if we do sign any one of these backs, like how long? What's the long like the term contract? How many years? Like how many years do you think Derrick Henry has in the tank? Like
If I
I
had
feel
to
like
guess,
yeah, I'm gonna say because like he's. I mean, if he stays healthy, he can like 2 to 3 years maybe. Not like a 5 year deal, maybe like 2 to 3. I'd say.
so because we already have Keaton Mitchell, who most people assume he's going to miss some weeks next year. I mean, he got hurt late in the season, but we have Justice Hill. We're probably going to draft one. So to me, we need to look at a power back, which I'm thinking of Derrick Henry, and
Mhm.
I think you give him a 2 year deal. I, I, I
2 year
think
deal.
I think he has about 2 years left. Not that it'll be bad after 2 years, but I just think he has 2 years left where he's still Derrick Henry, or some form of what Derrick Henry, which is still better than most running backs. So I'd say you give Derrick Henry a 2 year deal, maybe 18 million or 2 years, 18 million, something close to that. I don't know. I don't know whatever guaranteed money you want to give him, but I don't think we're going to break the bank for running back like Saquon and Josh Jacobs is going to want. And I don't really want a guy like Austin Eckler because to me, as much as I like him, he just doesn't look the same anymore.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like LA Chargers, they kind of not screwed him, but like he was injury prone and is
I do
and
think Saquon
mhm.
could possibly end up on the Chargers. They're going to be creating space here soon. I heard that they are open to trading Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack to open up some space, and I believe they're gonna kind of not rebuild because they have Herbert paid, so you don't really want to waste this window. But they're
Mhm.
going to make some moves, and I think Saquon makes a lot of sense there with Greg Roman as our offensive coordinator, who you and I both know how that goes.
Yeah, I mean, wait, as far as like the whole Greg Roman Tom Monken comparison, like for that, like
No,
the
Greg Roman is the offensive coordinator of the Chargers.
oh for real, I didn't
Yeah,
for real.
yeah.
I thought he got hired at some like high school job or something like that or some high
I
school.
think he did, but I
I
think
thought
they
he
brought
did.
him. Yeah,
Well, it's gonna be interesting because him and Jim Harbaugh. So it's gonna be like, see
yeah.
how they. Yeah, I forgot they. I didn't forget, but I kind of like kind of I did forget that they signed Jim or they got Jim Harbaugh as a coach.
Well, he was
Um,
his offensive coordinator when they went to the Super Bowl when we played them in the Super Bowl.
got you. Yeah. I mean, I. So I guess the next question is like, in order to have a successful offense, you have to have an O line. So do you think that Stanley's out of here?
Um,
I know, kind of
he's he,
threw a little tough question because I know he's
I
one of the.
don't. This is gonna sound crazy. Like I don't think I know a lot of people want us to cut him. I don't think we should cut him. But what I think we say to him is, you have to restructure. You make like the third most money on the cap behind only Lamar and Marlon Humphrey, I believe. Might even
Mhm.
be more than Marlon Humphrey, but they're very close. They're in the 20 millions. You have to restructure because your play hasn't equaled. I know it's injury, but it hasn't equaled to what we need. And this year, I'd be okay with taking a new tackle in the draft. This is one of the only years where I'd be okay with taking offensive line. Not that we don't need it, but it's just not an exciting pick. You know what I mean? But at this point, we need to start looking at our future left tackle because not that not that he can't be, but I'm not sure Ronnie Stanley's going to be here much longer. He's got it. We got to do something with that contract, whether it's
Yeah.
restructure. He's not going to be cut, in my opinion. I don't think so. Um, but I'm very okay with bringing in somebody for competition or moving some stuff around.
Yeah, I mean, I think the center is with Linderbaum is kind of set. He's young.
Yeah,
I know he got
one of
hurt,
the
but
best in
he's
the league.
it's like
We
we got
lost Zeitler.
Zeitler, yeah, Zeitler, Morgan Moses. Is he a free agent?
I think I want to
So
say he
we don't
is.
really, we don't really have an O line, man. Like, well, I guess we do, but like Stanley's kind of like in the up in the air. I
We'll,
heard
we'll,
Bozeman.
we'll
I heard
spend.
Bozeman got released, so we might sign him back.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean,
Bradley Bozeman, I
he
think.
was the center. Yeah, from the Panthers. He was our center. He's okay. I mean, for the low, I take him back. He wouldn't command any more than like a $2 million contract.
Mhm.
So for some depth, sure, I wouldn't be mad. I do think we'll spend some money on the offensive line because we do value the offensive line pretty heavily.
Yeah. So like I do, I'm not sure if you're on Twitter, but like Jeff, G-Bix, he's like the Ravens like
Yeah,
insider. He
Jeff
knows
Zubek.
everything. That's what, if anyone posts about the Ravens, I trust him. So he posted like an article on like Athletic, and yes, I paid them a membership because I hate this
I
read
can't blame
article.
you. He's the best. He's
But
the best.
oh no, for sure. So he did like this is Raven centric. So like he broke down like what the key dates are as far as what's coming next. So key dates, he said Monday, this tomorrow. Teams can start talking to representatives and pending for
Mhm.
agents at noon. So, although
Is
it's
that
foolish to think that conversations will be starting from scratch during legal 2-day tempering window. What are you gonna say?
is that when they can start like agreeing the terms on contracts,
I
but they
think so.
can't
Because
officially?
I was gonna ask you, like, do you think, like, free agency? Do you think it's gonna be like not like the MLB free agency has been slow? Do you think like
No,
at
because
noon?
there's so many. So I think what we're seeing in this free agency, like you've seen these top tier players get, like Justin Simmons is a great player. Like you mentioned
Yeah.
Jordan Poyer, Tre'Davious White. These
Oh, I
guys
forgot
are
about
getting
him.
cut from these teams that at one
Who's that?
point were like,
Who's that? Oh my god, I always get his name mixed up. He was on the Commanders and then he's on the Niners. The lineman.
Chase Young.
Yeah, is he a free agent too?
Yeah, I believe he is. So you get these teams that were like, we're going all in, we're going to try to win now, but now the cap's catching up, and where you're seeing these big name players get cut. So I think this free agency is going to be good. So tomorrow you can start agreeing the terms, but it's not official, right? Because isn't that what Darius Smith did to us last year or 2 years ago? Whenever it
Uh,
was?
so what he broke down was so Monday, teams. They said they can talk to representatives of pending free agents at noon. So I heard that Baker Mayfield is going to get a 3-year deal, $100 million deal. So I don't think that's official, but
Good for
I'm
him.
pretty sure. Yeah. I saw that today. I mean, they locked him up. Now they're gonna lock Mike Evans up, so that's pretty good. So they got those two players. So it's foolish to think that conversations will be starting from scratch during the legal 2-day tampering window. It's the worst kept secret that talks have been going on for weeks. By Monday afternoon, so by Monday afternoon, like after 12, there will already be verbal agreements between teams and free agents. So,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
oh,
That's
so
what happened with
Wednesday,
Darius Smith.
okay, but that because I know he's been like toying with us like these past couple of years. He wants to
Yeah,
come back,
it
and
was last year. I think he agreed to a deal, and then he ended up going to the Vikings for either the same amount of money or it may even been less money. I was like, "What?" It
yeah,
was weird.
yeah,
It was weird, but
right.
what are
Yeah,
you
I
gonna do?
mean, sure, I'll take you like Matthew Judon back, man. I take him back in a heartbeat,
We
like
so that's
because
I think we do need a pass rusher.
yeah, because Bowser ain't it, man. He's been hurt, and
I'd
Bowser
cut him.
he's gonna get cut. He's gonna
I
get
would cut
cut.
him. You save. I think I want to say you save like 9 or 11 million. I could be wrong, but I know we save a decent chunk. Like we don't lose money, we save money. So
You save money, yeah.
I'm not sure
So
what happened with him.
yeah. I haven't seen much of any tapes for me to judge him because like he hasn't really been playing because obviously we got Adafia Owe, Jabo, and I know he's young still. Oh, forgot that we had a freaking another lineman that we signed, or they got Voorhees, the one that got hurt in the
Oh,
draft.
Andrew Voorhees from USC,
I
the
forgot about
lineman.
him too, man. I forgot about him. He's
I
gonna be
think
playing
he may step in and play the guard
the
position
guard.
that Kevin Zeitler left.
Okay. Oh man, that's gonna be well. Depending on how his knee looks, it's gonna be Leonard Baum and then Verhesi, and hopefully, but I mean, I rather draft. See, Ravens are known for like they don't really tell us like they want to tease us, man. Because they do it like the day of the draft, like they make the trades and everything, like the
Yeah, you
Hollywood
don't
Crown
know
and the whole.
who they're
You don't know
taking.
when, which is a good thing because you don't
Yeah,
want to know, your opponent's move, like their next move. Wednesday is the first official start of the new league year, so contracts and trades can be finalized. So I guess verbally they can be talked about like Monday and Tuesday, and then since it's the new league year, um, those deals can be finalized and set for the new year. Thursday, wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. has to be released before 4 p.m. this day, or his salary for 2025 will become fully guaranteed.
he'll be
A
right.
bargain new contract. So he's probably going to be gone.
He's 100%
Um,
going to be gone. We may bring him back for a different contract, but I'd be shocked if that happens.
Yeah, and then March 18th. This could be a key date for Ryan Stanley, immediate future for the team, which is one of the Ravens' biggest offseason questions. Stanley is due for $4 million in roster bonus. If the Ravens pick that up, it seemingly indicates that envision him being on the roster in 2024. Cutting Stanley without a post June 1 designation seems unlikely because while would create $8 million in cap space, also would put nearly $18 million of dead money on the. See all this math, man. It's like crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense for us to lose money cutting him. At that point, we might as well keep him.
And then they said April 25th, 27th is the draft. On May 1st was the free agent signings no longer count toward. So May 2nd, the Costa will have to make a final decision on whether to pick up the 5th-year option on Rashad Bateman. That's another question, man. Like Rashad Bateman, like he's nice. I mean, obviously he's not really on a list of like elite receivers in the league, but he's kind of like under the radar receiver. So like, would you want to? Well, I'm not sure if he's on an expiring contract this year, but do you want to bring him back?
His option on his rookie deal. I want to say it's like $14 million. So
yeah, that's a lot better.
I mean, from what I've heard, Eric DeCosta talking and John Harbaugh, they really like Rashad Bateman. So and they think he's going to have. They've already talked about how he's going to be a big part next season at least.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see anything happening with him. I think he'll be here, and so I think Oweh's option is soon also. But I think that'll be picked up.
Yeah, I like this article because he breaks down. So he did like the cap situation. So even with the $30 million rise in salary cap to $255.4 million, and the team's recent deal with Matabuke, which really helped us, the Ravens will still are right against the cap. They'll need to do more. But the thing is that he did pinpoint that it's not really a big deal because Morgan Moses, if we cut him, it's $5.5 million in cap savings. Outside linebacker Tyus Bowser, which we talked about, he's $5.5 million. And then another key piece of which I wouldn't want to lose, but we probably will bring him back is Patrick Ricard. The big linebacker, which he can block for you. He can play a lineman. He can play fullback. That costs $4 million. Being off mission as cut candidates. They can sign a player such as Ricard or reserve offensive tackle Patrick McCary to a contract extension. He pinpointed like biggest needs offensive line. Solidifying the O line is the priority, obviously, because you want to protect Lamar. John Simpson. I don't really know much about Simpson really.
He played guard last year. He was pretty good.
Yeah, I like this article. Like he's really pinpoints Ravens top free agents. I mean, the Patrick Queen, Kevin Ziegler, Jadava, and Connie. Geno Stone's a big one because he has 7 interceptions, and like I don't want to let him go, man. Like he's still young.
I would
having him in the back.
I would rather lose Marcus Williams than Geno Stone, and I think
Marcus Williams, yeah, he's been kind of injury prone too.
I don't know. Maybe I think we're going to give him another chance. I'm just kind of over the Marcus Williams saga. I don't know why, but I'd rather keep Geno Stone. I think he may cost less money than Marcus Williams is going to cost us. I believe we save money if we cut Marcus Williams or trade him. I
really think that we should another notable free agents, QB Tyler Huntley, the backup. I think we did bring in Malik Cunningham. Which is I like that they're both from Louisville. Gus Edwards, like you mentioned earlier, J.K. Dobbins, and Dalvin Cook. I don't know why he's even still on the team anymore.
He's gone.
Duvernay, you think he's gone? Because he's a special teams guy.
Yeah,
we got Tylan Wallace.
I like Tylan Wallace.
Oh yeah, I do too, man. He had that clutch punt return against the Rams. That was nice.
I thought we cut Duvernay.
I think he's a free. I think he's a free agent still. I think he's on the team, but he's gonna be. I think he's gonna get cut. I mean, I think he had his chance to shine before Bateman got there. He didn't really. They decided he didn't want to be a receiver, so they put him as a punt returner.
I don't think he's a great receiver. He's just a pretty good returner.
Yeah, I think
with John Harbaugh as our coach, we're going to be fine with special teams because that's what he does. So I'm not really worried about him as a returner. So I'm cool moving on from him.
Yeah. Another thing, Ronald Darby. He's like 30-year-old, stayed healthy.
We may have to bring him back. He was really good this year, low key.
Yeah. So I mean, other than like the running back situation and we still got some holes to fill, man. Because they're going to be releasing a lot of players and coming up. So that's good that I started this podcast. I think I started at the right time because, like, there's a lot of content that we're going to be getting into in the draft and everything. So I'm excited to see, what who we're going to get. Um, I think we might. I heard are targeting. I think the Florida State wide receiver.
Keon
Um,
Coleman.
not or is it Boston College? I'm not sure. I think one of the other.
Keon Coleman is from
Yeah,
Florida State. He's a bigger wide receiver. I've heard the Ravens linked to him. I don't know if he's
yeah,
going to make it though. I think he may.
yeah. And then they said potential targets. So Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry. They got Zach Moss, running back. He's pretty good from like kind of like a Justice Hill kind of back, small back. But I know we do have Keaton Mitchell, but he's recovering from the ACL, so who
He's
knows
going to
when he's
miss
going to be
time.
back. So yeah, a lot of good free agents out there. Shaquille Barrett's out there, outside linebacker. Josh Reynolds, wide receiver.
I would really like to bring in a pass rusher.
Yeah, I do too.
Joe
Like
Barrett
we'll
would be perfect from Baltimore.
bring in as far as like a free agent or someone in the draft.
Eat both, either, whichever.
Then we have like
Comes
Java
first.
Well, I know he's young, but Java he's still. I think I don't know why we didn't really see much of him this year. Like,
We need a vet because Owe and Ajabo still need some reps. I'm not giving up on them. They still need some work though. We need a vet presence with them, like how Clowney and Van Noy were. They were ginormous for this team this year.
right?
So,
Yeah. So out of the free agents like that are that we just like talked about, which one do you think we're gonna be picking up? I know you said Derrick Henry possibly, like you want him, but like who do you think we should target? Like we should bring to the castle.
I've seen one that's interesting that I've liked over and over again. I'm not sure how much money he'd command, but Cheetah Awuzie, the corner from the Bengals. I've seen
I hear
possibly.
you, but I hate doing the 18 or trade, but I mean I hear you.
Well, he's a free agent. He's a
Yeah,
free
yeah, I
agent.
know. Yeah.
So I do think we bring in a corner, especially if we lose Darby, because as much as I like Marlon Humphrey, I know people want to cut him. I don't think we do that because we really value corners and we always have. But I think we need to bring in somebody in case he gets hurt because he was hurt a lot. So I mean, you got Tre'Davious White. You talk about hurt a lot. I mean, somebody's going to take a flyer on him, and if he's healthy, he's going to be great. But it's a big if. What's his name? I think it's Demarius Williams that used to actually play for the Ravens. He went to the Jags, had a great season, really underrated. He's a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's a big possibility that we bring a corner in. And like you mentioned, Shaquille Barrett, I wouldn't mind somebody like that, depending on the price.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we're not above trading for players on defense either. We've done it multiple times. Calais Campbell, Marcus Peters. I mean, we'll trade to get players if we really want them for positions of need.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Like we definitely, we definitely will. I think. I mean, I believe in EDC, Eric DeCosta. I think that he's gonna because they know that John Harbaugh. If they don't get, I mean, I hate to say it because I like John Harbaugh. He's been the longest tenured coach.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's either him, Belichick, and Tomlin. Without Belichick out of a job now, but longest tenured. Like I respect him, but it's like the Ravens know that their window. I mean, their window is still open for a championship, but I mean, with these players that it's not like soccer. We can't keep these players for like 10 years,
Right.
like so much $250 million. Like they know that with the player that they had now and the player that they getting in, their window is still like wide open, but it could like kind of narrow if we let some of these players go that are demanding big contracts. So I think EDC and like Ozzie Newsome, and because I know he's kind of low profile, even though he's was making the big moves when he was like the GM. But I feel like they know that the fans are talking about and the NFL talking about John Harbaugh maybe being on the hot seat after this year if we don't get to the Super Bowl. Because I know, I mean, like compared to other teams, this team is Super Bowl or bust. We have a two-time MVP. We have Zay Flowers. We have proven players. We just gotta sign the right players, move some money around. And I mean, I believe it. You see, I mean, he was there at the combine. I mean, they're always there, scouting players and everything. So I believe, in the draft. I'm not like one of those Ravens fans who don't give up on their teams that quick.
Yeah.
But I do. I mean, I will be excited if we get Derrick Henry in the building because I would never imagine Derrick Henry,
I
Lamar
know.
Jackson. That's crazy. It's like Madden, like this no salary cap on signing Derrick Henry to a deal. Like
I
so.
mean, to me, in my opinion, our team was good enough to win the Super Bowl last year, and I'm not
Oh
just
my
saying that
gosh!
because I'm a
Like
Ravens fan. Everybody thought it.
oh my gosh!
Everybody
Like
thought the
yeah.
Ravens were the best team in the NFL. I mean, it wasn't like that at first, but as the season went on and the season progressed, and we came together, and we had Roquan leading the defense, and we had Lamar leading the
Forgot about
offense.
Roquan. We didn't even talk about Roquan Smith this episode, man.
We were
Roquan
just
is like I forgot about. I'm sorry, Roquan. If you're watching this, I'm sorry, man. Like I forgot about you, man. But how much? Like how many years did he sign for?
I
Was it
want
like
to say
5 year deal?
I want to say I could be wrong, but I want to say it was 5 years.
5 years? I mean, we gotta like.
Him and
I
Lamar are
mean,
both 5 years, I believe.
okay. Because I know, I mean, Roquan, when his contract, we gotta like keep him because like he's like the Ray Lewis like
Yeah,
of our team, man. Like he's like the heart and soul. I totally forgot. I mean, I didn't forget about Roquan, but I just didn't. I talked about Kyle Hamilton, but Roquan is like the core of the defense. Like, but
I think
yeah,
Roquan and Kyle Hamilton are the two most important players on our defense.
oh for sure. When I'm at Abuke too now because you know he can
Yeah,
get to the quarterback,
we have an
and
elite defender. We have elite players on every phase of defense, like lineman Matabuke, linebacker Roquan, uh, safeties Kyle Hamilton, Marlon Humphrey when he's healthy. So, I mean, we put the team on the field to win the Super Bowl. So that's a credit to EDC right there. We were the best team in the league. We came up short.
yeah, like and I'm like I'm looking at our schedule. Well, I know this hasn't released yet, but like we have like the home opponents.
Yeah,
I mean, we can't slouch, man. Obviously, we have the division. I mean, Washington's coming back. Barrows are coming back. So we got Steelers, obviously Browns, Bengals at home. Raiders, we have the Raiders, which should be a W. Broncos don't have no quarterback right now. Bills, Commanders, and Eagles at home. Then away we have Steelers, obviously. All the AFC North teams. Then we got the Chiefs, Chargers, Cowboys, Texans, Giants, Buccaneers. So I mean, it's not really. I mean, I say it's a hard schedule, but it's like we can't really like take a game for granted. And like,
yeah, it's
so
a tough
hopefully,
schedule.
like hopefully with the pieces we get, you know, and we do good, man. But like you wanna, I know you gotta get out of here soon. Like, do you have any other final thoughts, or you wanna, anything that we didn't cover?
No, I just wanted to say thanks for letting me on the show.
No, I mean, yeah,
Hopefully,
we'll definitely be back, man. I know we gotta do the draft preview. I
yeah,
love like when the schedule releases. I do like on my other show. We when we like the dates, we do like our season prediction. Like we go by each or like we go by each like game and we pick like the win totals.
yeah,
And then we do like before the season, like maybe after the draft, I usually do like the top quarterback list going to the season. So there's a lot of content. There's a lot of
yeah.
content. I know you're the draft guru, so that's good that I brought you on for that. So yeah, we'll definitely like get more content, man. And I'm excited, just strictly talking
Yeah.
about the Ravens, man. Like
Yeah, I appreciate you for letting me on. Let me know about future and
yeah, for
thank
sure,
you
man,
guys,
for sure,
thank you
bro.
guys for tuning in.
Yeah, all right, well, yeah. So like again, if the fans, I know we got like six viewers. If they didn't, hear you before, like where can they find you on the handles? Like where can they, watch you at? Are you on YouTube, like Facebook, or like say you're
So
on Facebook, but
right now, I'm only on Facebook, and the
okay,
page is called the Sports Idiots.
Sports
I'll be
Idiots, okay.
launching videos again this season. Closer to the season, probably got some stuff some upgrades I want to do. So closer to the season, the Sports Idiots on Facebook.
Yeah, man. Hopefully, by the time maybe Wednesday, one day they can talk to like their agents or whatever. But hopefully by Wednesday we'll get some Derrick Henry signed to the Ravens, and we'll talk about that. Pop some champagne and celebrate, man.
Derrick Henry's going to the Ravens. You heard it here
Yeah.
first.
Or
Well, not
Saquon.
first, but you heard it here last.
Right. All right, man. Well, good first episode, man. Wait, who? Oh, that's my boy from Twitch. That's my boy. He's in my Madden league. All right, well, good episode, man. And I'll definitely be in contact with you, man, for the next episode.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, man. Have a good night.
You too.